What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday to everyone. Hopefully, the weather has been calm and quiet where you are. I know a lot of people have been dealing with these heavy rains from this active scenario that's been going on in the plains. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's almost kind of like what happened in California. You were dry for a really long time, and now you're just seeing the rain, and you're seeing too much rain at once. So let's drink some coffee here, and let's talk about the weather. Taking a look here at the satellite picture, you can see this active scenario continues, and that is shredding over into the Great Lakes. The Northeast, you're on tap for a nice day today. There'll be some clouds that try and come into the picture into the mid-Atlantic this afternoon. Quiet picture on the West Coast, that's good to see. And also relatively quiet in Florida. Some showers could pop up as the week goes on. Taking a look at the national radar picture, and you can see there's still some rain going up through Texas, coming through Oklahoma, and even in Chicago, just northwest of you. You got some rain coming in today. Southwest of there is a severe weather threat for today. We'll take a look at that. Taking a look at the national hazards map here, there are actually heat advisories. Yes, see this here? This orange category, that's heat advisories up for the West Coast. Taking a look at the central region, we do have various different areas that have flooding concerns, and that's going to continue throughout the day today and even into tomorrow. Taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center, there's a slight risk of severe weather across portions of Missouri, Illinois, and portions of Kentucky for today. Though, if we take a look at the storm reports for the last several days, it is not going to be as active as we have saw. You can see, going through the past week, it has been a very active week with storm reports in multiple different areas, and then of course this one back on the 7th. This was the big day where there was multiple MCSs. But taking a look at today's outlook, you can see here there is a 2% chance of a tornado. Isolated, it cannot be ruled out. It's not the biggest threat. Wind, that's probably your bigger threat. And there's also a small hail threat. So it's not a great severe weather threat. I would be more concerned today for the potential for flash flooding. As you can see here, we'll take a look at the excessive rainfall forecast. You can see there's a moderate risk of excessive rainfall across portions of Texas. There's this slight risk that is in place for portions of Nebraska, Missouri, right on in through Illinois. So that's what we have to watch out for today. Let's take a look at the HRRR model. We'll take a look at the 12Z run. This goes out 48 hours, and as you can see here, there are some areas of heavy rain that develop and continue to develop over the same areas in Texas. Then you can see you get this huge scattering of storms across the plains, in through Illinois, in through Missouri. That eventually shifts southeast, and it almost looks like the HRRR model tries to develop some sort of a short-lived MCS, not really a long track. But look what happens here. It then just falls apart as it gets into Tennessee. And now we're coming into tomorrow. And you can see, yeah, unfortunately, again, another scattering of storms. Though be it, it'll be slightly more south this time. Another scattering of storms in the plains. And maybe even Arkansas gets into the picture tomorrow. This system will then try to come east. There is some suggestions from the models that maybe it ends up a little bit more north now, and north of the Mason-Dixon line gets into some light rain. We'll have to watch the HRRR, as you can see here at hour 48. It is suggesting, if I put this in motion, it is suggesting that it would traject a little bit more north than earlier model guidance. So we'll have to see. Maybe Pennsylvania gets into some of the rain, which wouldn't be a bad thing, because the northeastern states have had a big dry stretch for the last week now. Taking a look at the GFS, let's go a little bit into the longer range. And you can see here's that system. Here it comes. And you can see the GFS shows as well now. Up to about the Pennsylvania Turnpike from central Ohio, Columbus area on north. You can see you do get this rainfall. And that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. You can see after that, when we get into the middle of the week, we're talking about a quieter picture. Yes, you're going to have some showers and thunderstorms in the southeast. That's normal for this time of the year. And you can see here in the mountainous region, you do get some scattered precipitation. It's the end of the week that we'll have to watch. As you can see here, there's this little system off the Carolinas. All three models, GFS, CMC, and Euro, are showing it in a different way. The GFS is the most organized with this system. You can see it actually develops an area of low pressure. Would that become a tropical depression? I don't think so, because again, GFS is the most aggressive with this, but it's something we'll have to watch. It'll eventually get sucked up by this front. It'll go out ahead of the front. Should not cause many problems other than the potential for some rain in the northeast next week, which is not a bad thing because the ground is starting to get dry. I know there have been some fire issues up in Maine. Pennsylvania, those issues subsided, but after this week, it could come back. Central Pennsylvania, the wildfire issue could come back again, because look here, this is not a heavy rain threat, and behind that, look what happens. It gets dry again. And really, the rest of the country, as we're coming out to almost 200 hours now here on GFS, relatively dry, which, quite frankly, for the central states, you need that now, because you've now had too much rain. Florida, you're going to continue with this daily showers and thunderstorms. All right, let's take a look at the days 1 through 7 precipitation amounts. Very quiet on the west coast. Though that's a good thing, at some point we would like to see more rain there, or else, for as wet as it has been, the drought concerns would come back later in the summer. Crazy, isn't it? But that's the way it works out there. Taking a look here at the central states, and you can see here, at least for the first half of this, yes, it's going to be wet again. Second half of the week, it's going to dry out. And you can see here in the southeast, like the Carolinas, we really have to watch what that system does. That piece of energy. That could provide an area of heavier rain for South Carolina and North Carolina. Precipitation amounts in the northeast, maybe you get isolated 1-inch amounts in some areas through 7 days, but I'm not all that impressed. Northern Plains and Great Lakes, we're not looking at a huge amount of rainfall. All right, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Well above average in the west. You saw there's heat advisories up along the coastal regions of the west. Below average in between where we have this system. That's eventually going to move out. Slightly above average to near normal along the east coast. Then we go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, and above average temperatures start to spread eastward. We do have above average temperatures in the northeast and the west coast, continuing to be below average in Texas. It's not going to be a perfectly sunny picture, though it may get quieter. It's not going to be perfectly sunny, and you're actually going to see below normal temperatures, slightly above average in portions of Florida. Taking a look here at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, well above average precipitation in portions of the Four Corners region. As you saw, there's going to be a scattering of showers, almost an early monsoonal flow may set up there. Below average for the Northwest and the Great Lakes, slightly above average along the East Coast. And a lot of that depends on what that little disturbance does off the Carolinas. Let's go to the 8 to 14 day, and the northern half of the country is below average. I'm concerned about the Mid-Atlantic region. Though we had that big rainy stretch about a week and a half ago, I do think drought concerns could come back again, because modeling is not all that wet in the northeast. So we're going to have to watch what happens. Four Corners region, the southwest, it does go slightly above average again, with the center of this axis being right over the Four Corners region. You may see some showers return to California by this point. We'll see what happens. Florida, slightly above average. You're going to get your seasonal afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Alrighty, that does it for today's weather outlook. We'll have another one in the coming days as things progress and develop, and we'll update you on that disturbance off the Carolinas that we're watching. And until then, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button down below. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.